what I'm
Yep.
saying? We was just talking offline, high school shit. You know what I'm saying? The caduceus. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
caught me off guard with that shit, man. Yo, shout out
Class
to Hope High School and their Zoom Unity.
class of '96 in the building.
If anything, Hope High School got their Zoom Unity scene.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to them folks, Bad Lad, Star Tender, all the A Team DJs. Shout out to them. Like they keep me entertained Friday nights. Like you know, like I'm not going nowhere, so the fuck, might as well rock out with some of my peeps.
Hey, word. That's my bowling league night. You know, so
Yeah,
uh,
well,
my average is trash right now compared to where usually is.
yeah.
My shit is garbage.
Nah, if anything, you put a asterisk next to it, and have it as a
Nah,
pandemic.
I'm not subscribing to that pandemic asterisk. I just haven't been working on my game as often. I just got with the homie Randy.
Hmm.
Um, he works in the pro shop over there at Cranston Lanes. He gave me some good tips, so now I just got to put those tips to use. Uh,
Hey, yo,
but yeah,
shout out to
man,
Homeboy. Remember Homeboy Van Hees?
John Van Hees. I seen him the other day. That's the dude, man.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Yo,
We're gonna get him back on the show soon, man. He got a lot of things going on in the bowling world. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll be able to get him on and he can talk about all the things. He got some big changes happening between the pro shops and the tour and
yep,
all that. So
yep.
uh, we'll get John Van Hees back on the show soon, soon, soon.
Word.
Uh, yo, man, shit, how was your week, bro? In between shows, this is episode 97. You know what I'm
Oh shit,
saying?
we didn't look up a athlete. If anything, shout out to what's that group? 97 till. Uh, no, it
Oh
was a
no,
rap
man,
group back in the day. They had that song.
you coming with the 80s, 90s rap groups? I don't really know. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
no, it was late '90s. Damn, I'm mad. I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to my mind. Either way, I wasn't that big of a fan to remember that like that. But either way,
That's number 97. Got to be a hockey guy, man. Either way,
yeah, most likely.
those 90s numbers is really like either like defensive linemen
Mm.
or hockey
Offensive lineman.
dudes. Usually offensive dudes don't really wear the 90s. Usually like defensive ends and shit.
Yeah, true.
Um, and
Nah.
hockey dudes. Interesting fact I learned the other day.
Hmm.
Speaking of hockey dudes, Wayne Gretzky has because I was listening to Mike Greenberg. Is it Mike Greenberg from Mike and Mike?
Yeah, Mike Greenberg and Mike Golick.
Yeah. All right. So I was listening to his show, which is super good, by the way.
Mhm.
And he does
Yeah,
these like
great. No, he's a classically trained sports guy.
yeah
So he
he
went to
does
school for it.
he does these lists, and he was doing a list about the most unbreakable records, and he got me thinking that I want to start doing a top five list, but I'm gonna do mine with a little bit of a spin on it.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jeremy Roenick is listed as a top number 97. He played for the Blackhawks, another a
Well,
hockey
yeah,
guy.
Jeremy Roenick. Yeah, no, he was kind of
Sim,
a badass.
Simeon Rice is the other guy of note.
Oh yeah, Stimmy Rice. Hell yeah! Shout out
Um,
to him.
but anyway, Mike Greenberg did his top five like unbreakable records,
Okay.
and he kept
Let-
it to
let-
like records that most people would know because you have a
Oh,
lot of
like
records
400 in baseball.
like no, not even like Cy Young had like 400 and something wins or 591 wins. He had like 700. He
Oh,
had like 700 games,
oh,
700 starts.
yo, I bet complete games is on there.
Well, yeah, but it was on the list, but the
Mm,
ones that he put in his top five were ones that
mm.
people would know,
Okay. Oh, it's top
Wilt.
five. Okay,
Yeah, like Wilt
okay.
scoring 100 points. That's just probably never gonna get broken. Um,
Well,
but
no.
the one that he forgot that one of the callers called in and was like, Wayne Gretzky has the NHL points record. So to get a point in the NHL, they combine like goals and assists.
Hmm.
And the reason why it's unbreakable is because first it's like over 2,000 points between
Okay.
goals and assists. But the interesting fact is that if you take away all of Wayne Gretzky's goals and just use his assists, he would still be the all-time leader in the NHL in points,
Well, he is the great one for a reason.
even without his
So,
goals. You know what I mean? That was just a crazy number. It'd be like, yo, if you took away all of Jordan's threes, he would still lead the league in points or some shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
like
I,
like
I,
the
I, I, could-
dominance.
I can see that, even though Jordan wasn't really a three guy, but still, no, I can see that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if Jordan was like, just say he, like, if you take away all his three
Wait,
pointers,
even better. If you take away James Harden's free throws, he would still be leading the league in scoring
yeah, like
because
that,
that motherfucker's always on the line.
like that type of shit. It's like, yo, it's just
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yo,
yeah, yeah,
I don't even need the goals. Just give those
yeah,
back, and I'm still the greatest scorer of all time. Like, it's
yeah,
fucking nuts.
yeah.
Uh,
Whatever. You know what? That's like too. Just thinking about it, like off the top of my head, it's like homeboy, the outfielder for the Mariners. Yo, that dude had mad hits even when he was in Japan before he came over here.
Ichiro,
Ichiro, my guy,
yeah,
my guy. I'm glad he was a Yankee for a little bit. So if
yeah. Like
anything,
if you take away his Japanese hits, he's still like almost
yeah,
number. He'd still be right there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
number two,
number
like
two,
number three, like
I think he's like
like.
two or three. But either way,
Oh yeah,
uh,
no, he's up there. Like
which
shout out to
reminds me,
Ichiro. That yo,
P
he
Rose
was killing it.
put P Rose in the Hall of Fame. Hashtag for real,
Hmm.
for real, and
Hey,
fuck
never bet on this team.
and
Yo, so
fuck the baseball Hall of Fame writers for not even putting anybody in the Hall of Fame this year.
nah, we'll talk a little bit more later on like sensitive thugs, but baseball writers fall into that category of
Right.
sensitive thugs.
You got to put somebody in the hall every year. Like fuck out of here. And also fuck them for like for the three guys that didn't vote for Griffey. Um, fuck them
Yeah.
too. But
Uh,
that's a whole other
uh, uh,
podcast.
Again, that's why Barry Bonds still isn't in the because he just had a grudge against the media. So like these motherfuckers are like, all right, you know what? Regardless of what you did on the field before steroids, allegedly, or Balco, but like even before that, this dude is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So
Before
if you want
like
to disqualify him,
if you
like
just take Barry Bonds and you take 90s Barry Bonds
yeah,
and 2000s Barry Bonds,
he's still a first ballot
still
Hall
a
of
first
Famer.
ballot guy. Still a first ballot guy. That's like the difference between like number 8 Kobe and number 24 Kobe.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Same with Clemens. If you take 80s, 90s Clemens and then separate all those numbers and then take away all the 2000s, just take them away.
All the questionable years after that strike.
If you take away with Roger Clemens, if you take away all his years after he left the Red Sox, he's
Hmm.
still a Hall of Famer.
Seriously,
Still.
seriously.
So I don't understand. Like some of these guys
That
wouldn't be, and I get that.
and that is my point of like when it comes to baseball, it's all about the writers and their sensitivity level because some people got voted in because they were just like media darlings. Like no word of a lie, like their stats are average. But then like surly ass motherfuckers that had a grip and gripe against media, like Barry Bonds, they're gonna get squeezed out.
Yo,
So it is what it is.
Roberto Alomar didn't get in for 5 tries, and he's arguably like the best second baseman to ever play the game.
Hey, yo, speaking of which, when it comes to baseball, yo, remember when we was in that baseball club back in Bishop and we Saturday shows, right? I had a second year Bo Jackson card and I traded it in for a Gaylord Perry card, a couple other like whoever cards, and a rookie Rafael Palmeiro because I was banking on Rafael to actually be a solid guy. Like because again, it was a second year Bo Jackson. It's not a rookie Bo Jackson. And then even with it being a second year, it wasn't even in great condition. So it was an investment for me until this motherfucker went to Congress. like,
Yeah.
like everything was sweet with that Rafael Palmeiro rookie card that I made a bet on in like seventh grade. Until this motherfucker had to open his mouth. I'm
Yo,
like,
I don't even have any of my collection anymore. I had
matter
like
of,
I had like 10,000 baseball cards.
yeah, matter of fact,
I had I had the entire 1988 tops set.
oh, you have tops.
Listen to the story.
Oh,
Had
had. Oh, yeah.
I had the 1992 full score box set. Damn. I had the full
Not,
score box set in the box, all the cards in order. Um, 96. Matter of fact, it was a 90. Was it 90? It was a 92, 92
Hmm.
score box set with all the rookies, everything in the box set. I
What you do
had,
with it?
and then this is what hurts my feelings the most. I had what year was Roger Clemens a rookie? 86. He got
Offhand,
drafted.
I'll say yes.
I think he got drafted. Yeah, I think yeah, 86 was his rookie year. But in
Oh shit.
87, a bunch of guys came in.
Mhm.
I had the full 1987 Topps baseball card set, uncut,
Uncut. Oh
uncut,
shit.
uncut.
Oh shit, B.
My dad acquired it, and I had the whole set uncut. I had them on my wall for the longest time, and when I moved, they got wet.
Oh shit.
I had them rolled, I had them covered up, and then I had taken them out to show somebody,
Hmm.
and I didn't put them back, and they got fucking wet.
Hey yo.
But
See
anyway,
now this is the
I ended up selling my collection a while back.
all right. So I'm gonna push forward the conversation a little bit because yeah, I had a box of cards here. That yeah, I look through them every now and then. But yeah, I had a 90 whatever year Manny Ramirez is a rookie. I have that whole set. But the thing is Tops pays out better than Dunross.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I got a bunch of motherfucking Dunross cards. But you know what? I love my father because my father actually did the legwork like your father at that time. Because for us growing up, that was the investment game. Like, yo, baseball cards didn't really move as much as baseball cards. So, like, hockey cards, forget that shit. Like, there was hardly any black people in hockey. And if anything, like, they stereotyped against them hard. But like, yo, just even looking through some of these cards, like it goes my boy Roberto Alomar, Randy Johnson, fucking Mike Lowe, my boy Roy Oswald. He probably looks like he's a Republican now. Um, Jimmy Rollins, and looks like a Ricky, right? But again, they're Dunross. So,
Oh, I knew there was some good cards in there. I just looked.
oh,
The
oh,
the the,
it was
ni-
just a brief.
the 94 rookie seasons. Alex Rodriguez would have been the
Hmm.
card to have in that motherfucker, dog. But anyway,
Hey, but nah, like overall, like yeah, for my week, my wrap up, like nah, like I had the baseball cards. For me, like I don't really like talking about too much of my personal life, and I'm not going to. But if anything, when shit happens in my life, I always revert back to like a happier time in my life. So baseball cards is one thing, drawing is another thing. Actually, engaging in conversations with people is another thing. So like going through it all, I find solace in certain little things like watching my basketball game, trying to like talk to friends. Like right now, especially in the pandemic, like it's hard to talk to like see friends. And usually when you see friends, they're on their time. They're either drunk, they're either high, they're either on their way to work, they're either working. So it's like conversation isn't really there. So like online is really a nice little reach out to people. But even with that, one thing I realize I get misunderstood real quick and real easily because people have an idea of who I am and not really know who I am or want to have a conversation with me. It is what it is. I'll still knock on your door and I'll show up.
well, I mean, shit, man. The only way to really stop people from making those assumptions is to be clear from the gate about what you're trying to say. That's all. And
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you
I
know
make
what
it a
though?
point.
Like I'm not in control of like other people's assumptions.
Oh, but they still gonna people are still gonna try to make assumptions. But
Oh yeah.
what you can do, at least what I do, is I try to be as upfront as possible from the beginning. Like this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, which brings me to my next point.
Mm.
Um, Smooth transition.
Segue.
Uh, I've been seeing a lot of outrage the last couple of days about Dr. Seuss,
Mm.
longtime racist,
Oh yeah.
fantastic children's book writer. Lived in a time when motherfuckers was just racist. But here's why it's driving me crazy right now. The Dr. Seuss Corporation, the people who own the Dr. Seuss books, decided on their own because they got wind that what they did is they did a study, and they sent out all their books to like a bunch of teachers, and the teachers out of the 50 books that got sent over, the teachers identified like something sensitive, what they would deem sensitive content, and problematic in 43 of the 50 books, from a writer standpoint or from an illustration standpoint. A couple of school districts across the United States decided that they were also going to strongly recommend that these books not be read in schools, i.e. banned books. Every school district has books on the banned book list from
Huck Finn.
And some of them are just about content. Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer. There's a lot of books. What's the book I just read is on the list?
Catcher in the Rye was on that list for a while.
Catcher in the Rye is still on that list in a lot of school districts. And it's the school districts that make them, you know what I mean? They're just like, we're not going to read this book in our school district. There's nothing. The Slaughterhouse-Five, which I read recently, and I was like, I don't understand why this is on the banned book list, other than the fact that the content is a little bit like it's
sensitive for younger audience.
Yeah, it's a book that you should read on your own, and
as an adult.
And I think that's really, a lot of the basis behind why people ban books. But in this instance, and this is based on my opinion and what I've read, but the Seuss company decided to be like, these books are problematic.
Yeah.
And we're no longer going to publish them, which happens all the time. Sometimes, mostly though, it's because books don't sell, or, they have all these titles. And people are making it seem like, I can't read my kid Green Eggs and Ham anymore. And that's not even one of the books that got banned. There were 6 books. And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street, If I Ran a Zoo, which is crazily problematic from a illustration standpoint.
Yes.
McElligot's
it is.
McElligot's Pool, Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, and A Cat's Quizzer.
That's 6, all right.
Nobody's reading those fucking books. I can't. If you have one of those books, show it to me. Because people are being outraged right now about books that nobody even has to begin with. First, and the only books that people care about when it comes to Dr. Seuss are the Lorax, Green Eggs and Ham, Cat in a Hat, The Grinch.
Sam I Am.
The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And that's it.
That's
people
it.
only know about 4 books. Hop on Pop, Go Dog Go.
Hop on Pop.
Yeah. 1 fish, 2 fish.
Like you lose. I'm not on that Hop on Pop.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. So like in theory, there's really only about 10 books that people even know of, and those books are okay. If you know who Dr. Seuss is as a person, if you've read about him as a person, then you know he was pretty fucked up. But he's also a product of his era. Right?
Yes,
so
I was going to say that too. But that was a point that I was going to make. But go ahead.
He's a product of his era, and he wrote books for his time. And not everything,
especially when you want to sell books, right? Like,
so not everything that we do right now is going to translate to
20 years from now.
Yeah. It's going to be obsolete. It's going to be tasteless. It's going to be off color. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the shit that like we watched back in the day in the 80s and the 90s. If you did that shit now, like Raw would get fucking Eddie Murphy wouldn't have a career right now. If he tried to do Raw today.
Hey, matter of fact, I actually said Steve Urkel will get canceled because it's like, once a chick says no, that's the end of the chapter. Like season 1, episode 3, end of season. Like that's the end of Urkel.
Yeah, they be calling for the end of Family Matters. And so I'm just like, but for me, the outrage is not like, it's like, right now people are outraged that the company that makes the books is like, these books are fucked up. We're not going to make them no more.
Yeah,
And
number
people are
one, they
like,
weren't really selling anyways.
right,
We're just letting
yeah,
y'all know.
they weren't selling.
Like,
Now, did they need to make an announcement? Probably not. They probably could have just been like, "Yo, stop making these books," and
and that's it.
and that's it. But everybody needs the publicity these days, so they're like, we're not gonna make these books because they're insensitive and blah blah blah," and they caused a fucking shitstorm. And now what's gonna happen is you got all those like weird racist dudes are gonna run out and buy these books so
I
they
was
can
gonna
have
say
them,
that.
in their fucking weird racist book collection
I
or
was
whatever the
going to
fuck,
say that.
to say that, oh, you're not gonna stop me from reading what I want to read. Dude, you didn't even know those books existed until fucking 4 days ago. And people are outraged. I'm having an issue right now with people who get outraged about other people who are trying to like be better.
Yeah.
It's like the analogy I told you earlier. It's like, yo, I'm a fucked up individual, but then I one day realized that I want to stop being fucked up, and people are mad at me for turning into a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, how you gonna be a nice guy now? How you gonna stop? How you gonna stop doing all this bad shit that you were doing? That's fucked up. Go back to how you were.
You know what? This goes back to last week, kind of conversation where it's like, look, if a hoe is trying to turn her life around, like that's her business. Like, yo, she doesn't want to be a hoe no more.
She don't
Like,
want
you
to be a
gonna
hoe.
keep holding. You want to keep holding her to her whole days? Like, oh, bitch, you gonna keep hoeing. Like, come on. Like, you ain't serious about this guy. Come on. You a hoe. Like, come on. Like the fuck. Like, yo, that I've said that a couple of episodes ago as well. It's like, look, this is why I don't tell certain people like I'm giving up certain things. It's like when I declare myself that I'm trying to be a good guy and I'm trying to be decent, people attack like, yo, remember when you said this? Remember when you said that? Remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? Like, yeah, that's the past. The fuck you talking about? Like, I'm trying to move past that. Like, you still stuck in the mud with that bullshit. Like, the fuck? Like, if I tell people I'm trying to quit cigarettes, if they see me smoking a cigarette outside, they're like, yo, I thought you quitting some cigarettes. Like, yeah, this is my first one for the day. Like, what the fuck I gotta explain to you about? Like,
Now imagine if they were outraged for you quitting cigarettes because
why
you
you?
made an announcement. Because like now you can't like it's like that catch 22 where like, yo,
Yeah.
if you don't put it on social media, it never happened. But if you put it on social media, then people judge you for it
Yep.
if they don't agree with it.
Yep.
You know what
Yo,
I'm
it cuts
saying?
both ways. It cuts
Like if,
both
if
ways, and it
tomorrow I'm like,
sucks.
yo, fuck Raisin Bran, and people who love Raisin Bran are gonna be like, how you gonna cry to cancel Raisin Bran? I love Raisin Bran. You should also love Raisin Bran. And the people who
I
hate
used to
Raisin
eat
Bran are
raisin
gonna
bran
be
with my
like,
grandmother in the morning time when we used to watch cartoons. Like,
oh,
yeah, that's your experience. That's your experience. That's your takeaway. Like,
now I
the
gotta give
fuck?
up Raisin Bran because they don't got sugar on the raisins. That's what it sounds like to
Yeah.
me. And I could be way off, but this is just what
No,
it
you
sounds
know.
like to me. It sounds
No,
like,
because if anything, like early in our podcast career, I spoke about like fake outrage. The way I explain fake outrage is like, okay, people are mad about something. Okay, cool. You're mad about something. But then they get mad at me that I'm not as mad as them about something that they're now telling me about. I'm like, okay, I just learned about this. Like, what more research you got to do? I'm telling you what it is. I know you're telling me how you feel and what it is to you, but ultimately, I'm not as outraged. Like, yeah, I'm upset that my friend is mad, but like, the fuck you want me to do? Like, you want me to kick in doors to prove that I'm just as mad as you? But if I'm not as mad as them, they now turn and get mad at me. And now
um,
I'm part of that whole, you're part of the problem. That fake outrage, like, because with the whole Dr. Seuss thing, number one, I knew about him from long time ago, just like Walt Disney and a couple other people out there. Like, there's been problematic things, but like you said, they're product of their era and the product of the time. And if you want to be viable, you gotta sell to the audience. Even though you know certain things are wrong, you try to slide in like, all right, there's a racist character, and then as time goes on, he learns his way was wrong. But the fact that he was racist at first is a problem. And people don't want to see the growth and the evolution of things. That is what it is. People are more than just an online post. People are more than just one word or one book. When you have a conversation with people, you get to know where their heart is. Once you know where a person's heart is, you could see where they are coming from. But then you could say, look, I see where you're coming from, but that part is kind of wrong. Cool. And this is where a healthy conversation happens. But with all this outrage, it's like, Yeah, I knew about it, but even with that, it's like for me personally, the word nigga for me it's a totally different thing. I hear something different, but I understand and I respect where and how other people feel, and I leave it at that. But once they ask me how I feel, now I come under attack that my views are slightly different than theirs. It is what it is. Like, like, yeah.
Which is why for me, like I said, I like to try to come with my whole thought, like from the beginning. Like I don't like to leave. Like is my biggest thing about like
Mm,
with the whole cap situation. Like how you allow other people to spin your narrative is when it gets fucking taken out of control. And so like I try to do my best
yeah.
to try to not let other people spin my narrative when I try to make these statements, especially on social media, because social media is the spin factor. Um,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
we got a dope show. I mean, I know this is a long intro, right? Like we fucking 20 minutes in and shit. But we got one of my fam on the show
Oh
today.
yeah.
Z Carls,
Mm,
aka Z Love. She has a book out called American Poetess.
yes, indeed.
It's a book of poetry written by her, illustrated by her sister, my cousin Star Lane,
Mm-hmm.
from Wish Up on Me Art. Um, she does all the art with the dots and shit. The fucking shit is dope, man. I forget what it's called.
Hell yeah.
I call it dot art, but it's real smooth. So we're
Huh.
gonna get into that interview with Z Love, aka
Mm-hmm.
my cuz. We're gonna talk about the book American Poetess. Let's go. What up, y'all? We back in here for another Saturday conversation interview. Uh, this week on the show, we got the Poetess Z joining us today,
Yes,
talking
indeed.
about her new book, uh, American Poetess, and it's available now. We can't see that shit through your
Uh,
background.
Yeah, it's not the.
There it
Ah, there
is.
it is. There it
American
is.
Poetess, a new book of
Mm-hmm.
spoken word poems, available for you right now on places. Where is it available? On
it's
lulu.com?
lulu.com, and all you have to do is type in American Poetess.
Word.
American Poetess. All right.
All right, welcome to the show, Z man. Being what am I? Being transparent as possible. You know, this is my cousin, uh, younger by a couple days.
Usually,
Uh,
everybody that comes on the show is family in one way or
in
another.
one way
So,
or another. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But she
That's
doing big things, man. And I remember she came to pick me up in Detroit one time when she was doing her poetry thing. Um, and
mm,
it's always been top notch. So the fact that she got a book out now is huge. Uh, so let's get started, Z man. Tell us your origin story. You know how you got into the poetry. You know
mm.
all of that. How did that all begin for you?
Well, thanks for having me on your show. Number one, I really appreciate you guys. I started off my poetry story in high school, and I always loved writing, except I didn't like English. I always say this: I didn't like English. So, even though I'm an American descendant of slavery, is the new word, Black American. I always felt like English was a foreign language. So I really wanted to, I don't know, express myself, especially in high school. And so I fell in love with poetry. Not only the Maya Angelou's, but the Phyllis Wheatley's and the Raven, John Edgar Poe, just different type of ways to send messages without being so direct. I always thought words were like art. Like my sister who did the book, she paints and she sculptures, and I can't paint. I can't even color between the lines. You know what I mean? But I always wanted to be an artist, and so I'm good with words. I'm good with rhyming, and I'm pretty okay with singing. Keep a note. So let me just start to write and write and write and write. And so that's kind of how I got into poetry.
Oh, okay. So, real quick, you ever read any like love poems to like boyfriends in high school, or like to
Uh,
try to get to a guy, or did a guy ever write a poem to you?
no, it was more, remember in high school when we had pages, it was more so people leaving messages like R. Kelly or like,
Uh,
Babyface on your voicemail. But Remember that?
No, I had the origami paper, so like you had to unfold it and then you had the note. So like I had the whole artwork with it. So and then
Nice.
on the inside. But
I would
that
have
was
liked
just
that. That's creative. But
yeah.
no,
My
I,
father
I
found a couple of them and got mad at me. He was like, "Yo, this what you doing?"
oh, so you should have published them, man. You could have probably made some money. But I wrote poems for boys, but I never gave it to them because come on now, nah, I didn't.
Yeah.
But
If anything, I gotta. I don't know if I want to holler at some of my ex-girlfriends and see if they want to come up on some of them poems. But
nice. No, it's probably
uh,
they probably got it in their stash of memories. But yeah,
I hope they're not married with them letters, cause
oh,
I don't need that kind of action. But
you are.
all that
Oh,
aside, all that aside.
no, they better lock it up. But no, I basically when I was younger, I wrote more about like political things, more like trying to find my identity, like Black Power history, stuff like that. Because when we went to school, it was a lot of shooting in the school. There was a lot of gang violence and stuff like that. In order to kind of like get it out and not get too angry about it, because I had to travel from Mattapan to Roxbury on the bus. A lot of stuff happened on the bus. I wrote about it. So.
All right.
So how did you matriculate into the book? Like what made you want to put your poems in a book for everybody? Because I know a lot of people when they do the poetry, if they're not performing it, if they are performing it, they're not performing all of it, and they keep a lot of it kind of close to the vest because it's more like a therapy. You know what I mean? Like usually if you're into like the arts on some level, there's the small amount of it that you let the masses have, and then you got like a whole vault of shit that nobody's ever gonna see until
because you don't
one
want
day
nobody
they do their
criticizing
thing.
it.
So what made you decide to put the book out?
Yo, that is such a good question because there's so many writers that don't publish. You're absolutely right. So many writers that don't publish. They just write it for themselves or kind of get their feelings out there, cope, or a memory journal or whatever, because writing is cool like that. But I decided to publish mine. COVID-19 pandemic was probably one of the reasons. Like, the political scene and vaccines and this and that. So, and on top of, I've always pretty much, I won awards before when I was younger. I won awards, I was nominated for things. So people really like my poetry. So I thought that it could be helpful, for our people, for our family, for myself. I just thought it could be something that could be useful to people. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be brave and put it out there.
That is true. A lot of people don't want to put themselves out there for other people to criticize it because it's personal. So when
Yeah.
you put yourself out there, it's like you don't want somebody to be like, "Yo, that's whack." Like, "Yo, you don't get where I'm coming from with this poem," but they're still like, "But it's whack." So I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, yeah, a lot of writers don't put themselves out there like that, but it does take a lot of courage. So shout out
Yeah.
to you for actually taking that step. You have any other books on the horizon that you might want to write?
Yeah, I do. I'm in the middle of a fictional book about a pharaoh who was reincarnated to 2020. So that's something I've been working on for a while.
Nice.
But next project is definitely my children's poetry book. Just in it be an academic base because I run a program called Raising New Stars that I'm in work with because I'm a social worker, child therapist type of thing. So I'm really encouraging parents to engage with the children with poetry, with academics, and having fun. So that's my next project, definitely.
Nice.
So your sister did the artwork, Star, Wish Upon Me art. And
In the background there. All right.
that's the cover art. So how did
Nice.
that come to?
I like that.
I mean, you're doing the book, you're writing your poems, and you're like, oh, I want to illustrate it. Was that like a decision from the beginning to illustrate it, or was it something that you came around to like after you had the book written? Because when you're writing, you're not necessarily always thinking about illustration, especially if you're writing a book of poems. Like I can't remember the last book of poems I flipped through and it had pictures in it, or books in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so how did that happen? I mean, she's a fantastic artist in her own right. So, I mean, did she do it for the bubble?
She will actually.
Is she getting some back end residuals for her artwork?
Oh, she definitely did. She definitely because I pride myself with honoring other artists by copying them or bargaining or something like that. So she got something she definitely wanted from it. But some of these poems, like Boston, I've written when I was 17. So I have poems. Maybe That Vibe is the newest one, but a lot of them are years and years old. So I didn't necessarily just write it. A lot of them are just a collection of things. And I asked her to write. She's an expert on the eye. She does a lot of stuff with the eye. So I was like, yo, it would be cool if you put like the American flag and the Black Power fist up. You know what I mean? Because the elections and all that was going on. So, and basically, like, I wanted her to show that this is a woman's eye, a Black woman's eye, and her perspective is strengthening Black people in America. You know what I mean? Like, to kind of like represent, you know, us around the world. So I came up with the theme. She did that. And then in the book, we just picked some of her paintings she already had and put it in the book.
Yeah, it's nice when, especially like when you're working with a team, that somebody actually understands you and they get you. So that way you don't really have to fully explain too much. It's kind of like me working with Caveman or your cousin Daryl. But you know, it's just it's when you gotta have that energy and you have that, and it comes together. It creates a real great product, and that's one thing that people should really check out, for real, for real.
I appreciate it. And, you know, working with family and friends that know you, I think that's something that, you know, we got to do more of, because it is comfortable. And especially when your family and friends have a goal too, that they're reaching for, it just kind of makes it easier. So that's why, you know, me and Daryl are just encouraging our other family members to kind of follow their passion too, you know, find what it is and follow it. So
Yeah, because especially when you start making money and they start asking for handouts, it's like, nah, you know what? I got something better than a handout. I got a job for you.
yeah.
Right? You know, so it's totally different that way. Know what I mean?
That's when you decide who really needs the help and who don't, though, when you offer them a job. Like, yo, you could carry these speakers.
Know what I mean?
You know,
yo, I could give you $40 to carry these speakers, because I'm not just gonna give you $40 for you to turn around and be like, yo, I'm gonna pay you back. Nah. Earn it so you can keep it.
You can earn that shit.
My sons will become. So cousin Daryl, give him $50 for carrying all the speakers and equipment. Definitely.
Well, it's a new age. Maybe speakers. I don't know about crates.
Nah, I don't just carrying crates no more.
That's old school.
So with the publishing through Lulu.com, like, is it a self-published book, or is this like a book deal, or how did that work? How did you decide to try to like publish it yourself, as opposed to trying to chase down like a major publishing situation where you could have gotten the power of like Amazon and all that? Like, how did that work out? What was that process like?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, because the reason why I want to self-publish is because, you know, like you said, like my poem and my art's real sensitive. So when I look at a lot of artists, particularly in our Black artists, always someone trying to steal their creativity, or maybe they try to get bigger than they need to, then and start off small. So I just kind of want to start off small, get a buzz, and to be able to come back with some like negotiation power, you know, and not kind of like get too excited and give it all up to the big industries, not knowing what they could do with it. So I'm patient. I'm just trying to be wise. And like you said, with something that's so, you know, personal, it's like my baby. The way I would treat my baby, I didn't take my time. So
yeah, that's actually a smart move, because it's like then the company can't be like, well, you're big because we made you big. It's like, no, I have my material that I brought to you, and then you guys just distribute it. That's it. You didn't make me.
Right.
So that's what I like about self-publishing.
Do you have plans to publish anyone else? Like, are you gonna become like a publishing house?
You know what? I thought about that. I really did think about that. So
being connected to the poetry scene, or just writers in general, like, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna think about that a lot, especially children's books and poetry. I'm gonna think about that a lot, but not there yet, cuz.
So we talked about you having a poem for us to show the work. So whenever you're ready, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna give you the floor.
All right. So I'm gonna read one, because, you know, I love to put my poems to music, but it would be kind of hard on the Zoom. So
Just give it to us Acapulco, man. It's all good.
I am. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So this one, so I'm trying to read different poems out of the book so people know that this book isn't, I don't know what people would like kind of think about it just from the cover, but it has a lot of different poems, like love poems and funny poems and dating poems, sexy poems, and spiritual poems, and yeah, so as variety.
Okay. So I could use it as source material if I'm trying to get with a girl, and I can fold up a note and try to give it to her. Be like, hey, here's a
there's
poem.
a poem in there for you.
To try to draw a little picture to it too.
Oh yeah, just give them this book. That would be impressive.
Yep.
Say,
There it
so
is. Whoop, there it is.
This poem's a spiritual poem. So let me see. Here. Okay, so this one is called Strengthen My Spirit. Okay, so remember, this is during like COVID and all this other stuff. So looking externally for the power, thinking the answers is out there, going in the wrong direction when the solution isn't here. Tired of asking the same questions. The remedy is what I see. For me, defeat is not an option. Who made it one for me? And I believe that anger only demonstrates need. And when anger is neglected, that's when sadness proceeds, spreading its disease, which leaks contamination. Our planted seeds weaken offspring, delicate flowers. The flow of toxic waters showers them for hours, a continuum that creates a culture of people who are disempowered. For the sake of our children, I have to strengthen my spirit. It's bad enough we lie to each other. It's worse when we lie to ourselves. We cripple the spiritual growth that produces perfect health. Physically, we're strong. Mentally, we're ill. Spiritually, we're out of touch, giving away ownership of our skills. What a bad deal. For the sake of our ancestors, I have to strengthen my spirit. Don't be distracted by technology. It's designed to create fools. Without spiritual connection with each other, the result is the entire planet will lose. Don't believe what's out there. Let your spirit speak to you. Question your thoughts. It's critical to make the right moves. Use your emotions as fuel to take control over its use. For my children, I have to strengthen my spirit. For the sake of our parents, I have to strengthen my spirit. For the sake of the community, for your sake, for my sake, let's strengthen our spirit.
Yeah, amen.
So yeah,
that was nice.
Thank you. There's different poems in there. So I encourage, anyone who wants something uplifting, something historical and futuristic. It is definitely children friendly. And it's American Poetess at lulu.com.
lulu.com. American Poetess.
We appreciate you coming on and rocking with us on the Saturday conversation. Make sure y'all go to lulu.com, get the book, follow it, throw all your social medias out there so folks can follow you up.
Yeah, American Poetess on Instagram, Raising New Stars on Instagram, and Raising New Stars on YouTube. Follow me there because, especially on YouTube, Raising New Stars on YouTube, because it's going to be a ride this year. It's going to be a lot going on my YouTube page.
All right. Hey, if anything, I got an 18-year-old daughter, so I'm gonna put her on. So
put her on.
Most definitely.
Put her on. Because we had the Maya Angelou's. We've had a lot of poets who were not necessarily 20th century, 21st century, and I kind of want to be more of a contemporary poet. So yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Well, shit, man. We appreciate you coming on the show, man. Rocking with us.
Thank you.
Social medias, man, and we'll check whenever you got something you want to talk about. Z, come on down, man. Give us a call. We'll throw you on the show and we can chop it up some more.
Thanks, love.
Word. Be back. Dope interview with Z. The book is great. Make sure you go get us on lulu.com. Get your copy. Maybe if you're lucky, she'll autograph it for you.
Hey, holla at us. Maybe we can make it happen. Hashtag support.
Hashtag support. Quick question for you, DJ
Me?
Ironmonkey. If you could go to
Okay.
space
Mhm.
as a civilian space guy, they got the space hotel opening up,
Mhm.
you know, but SpaceX keep
Mhm.
blowing up their rockets that's supposed to be taking people to space, man.
Hey, you know what? Matter of fact, I'd rather them work out all the kinks right now. If anything, just like the vaccine, I'll let everybody go first. I'll wait my turn. I'm not in a
Hey,
rush.
they gotta get that shit all the way down, man. Cause
Hmm.
they done blew up 4 rockets in a row since they announced that they was trying to send people to space. The people
It,
the rockets that are supposed to send these civilians into space to this new space hotel and all that other shit.
hmm
Them shit's blowing the fuck up.
Yeah, if anything,
Literally.
like my last podcast that I did was The Great Beyond, and like for me personally, it was more of part of like my breakup, but then it was like part of a simulation. Like if you're in a simulation, like how's life gonna be? It's part of like getting there, being part of the simulation, and then basically coming back home. But yeah, I'd rather them work out all them kinks
Yo,
one time.
this shit is looking super shaky right now. That's all
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Would you go?
hey man, listen. No, because they can't get that shit together. Listen, I've been skeptical about the space flight part of going to space
Okay.
since the Challenger blew
Hmm.
up on TV, and I was like, I don't know about how I feel about being an astronaut. You
Okay.
know, I'm not like I don't know. I mean, and I guess it could happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? I could be in an airplane that shit could go down. I could fall down a flight of stairs,
I,
but the whole like blowing up into little tiny bits a mile up just don't sit right with my stomach. Plus, I don't know if my
uh,
body could take that G force.
let me ask you this then. Conversely, would you rather travel out of space or on the seas?
Oh man, I'd rather go. I'd rather go into the ocean.
Under the sea?
Yeah,
Check out your boy Sebastian and them.
I'd really go. I think I'd rather go into the ocean because I feel like yo, the shit down there is like we've seen what space is supposed to look like, right?
Hmm.
Uh, we don't really know what's happening. Like I saw some shit earlier. They found a glow in the dark shark, dude.
Oh, where?
Yeah, like it's one of those deep, like like
Ah,
below, like and
huh.
the shit glows in the dark. Like it's got like the luminescence,
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say.
like man, like there's shit down there that we don't even know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still like what's
That,
down there. Like that's the
that.
curiosity for me. I love those like deep sea movies
Oh yeah,
because I'm like,
it took
man,
me forever to watch The Abyss, but yo, that movie is great. Like,
yo,
yo, I was like,
uh,
yo, what the fuck it took me so long to watch this shit for?
like I just feel like this shit living down there that like if it decided to come up, like even like shit like what was that movie with the fucking Robotech
Pacific Rim,
robots? Yeah,
Pacific Rim. Oh yeah.
like
Oh
I
no, I'm
feel
all on them movies.
yo, if it decided to come to the surface, we could all be in a world of hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's basically what Godzilla's all about.
yeah, yeah,
Like real talk.
real
Speaking of which,
talk,
like Godzilla's supposed to be coming out later on this month too. Like
man.
Godzilla versus Kong.
I
Like
know
who you
you.
got in that fight?
Ah man, you know I got King Kong, dog.
Really?
King Kong. Yeah, I got King Kong, man.
Yeah,
I got King Kong.
as DJ,
Godzilla got little arms, man. Like he
but he got fire and the tail.
nah, I'm rocking with King Kong, man. He got more agility. He could dodge out
Me
the way.
personally, as DJ Ironmonkey, I have to stay on brand, and I will continuously go with King Kong, even though King Kong ain't got shit on me. It is what it is.
Yeah. We got we got March Madness coming up soon.
Yep.
You already know I'm going with the number one seed, Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, no Gonzaga for you?
Nah, man. Come on, son. Come on, dog. Listen, Gonzaga's dope. They are destroying the scoreboard right now. But
Mm-hmm.
Jay Howard got them dudes playing like the old Fab Five right now.
Hey yo.
I still think they only got one loss, and I feel like they gotta be like the lock for me to win the tournament.
Hey yo. The best hip hop line ever. My team in the Big East will take down your whole whack conference. For me, that's probably one of the greatest whack lines ever.
So I bring it up. Real
Rap
quick because
lines.
we got our cereal bracket that we putting together
Mm-hmm.
for our March Madness. We did last March Madness. We did the Mount Rushmore R&B.
Yes, we did.
So now we move into the Mount Rushmore of cereal,
Yes.
breakfast cereals.
Yep.
The ones that go in milk, not that oatmeal or that cream of wheat shit.
Yeah, hot cereals don't really.
Hot cereals are not breakfast cereals.
No, not by choice.
In my humble opinion, we don't eat that mushy shit around here.
Nah.
Although I do love me some instant oatmeal. I'm not gonna fuck around like it live, but
Nah, my son tried to cuss my mother about her eating his last bit of Quaker oats. I'm like, Quaker oats? Like, yo, you finna try to cuss at my mother about Quaker oats? You're gonna find out today who my mother is.
right. So we got right now from I put out the poll. You know what I'm saying? Top 5 cereals.
Mm-hmm.
And so far coming back, other people put up their top 5 cereals, and it seemed like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the overall number one.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch has gotten the most responses back.
Okay.
So
So
all the
that
people that commented on my shit. Cinnamon Toast Crunch followed closely by Honey Bunches of Oats. Got a lot
Really?
of odds. Yeah.
Really?
Honey Bunches of Oats, my G, got a ton of like, yo, they were Honey Bunches of Oats was on the top list.
All right. The way it sounds like your list is setting up to be, don't tell me motherfucking grape nuts is on your list.
Nah. Grape nuts is not on my list. I'm just telling you what people responded to me, man.
No, that's cool. I got a little bit of that.
So
off the top from
you
what
know
people told me.
Just so you know what my top 5 cereals, Crunch
Mhm.
Berries, which also has been getting a strong occurrence.
But wait. Out of the top 5, only 4 can make the Mount Rushmore.
That's okay.
So you got somebody just in case like somebody's face fell off like the man in the mountain in New Hampshire.
Like remember, I just posted my top 5 and then we started talking about the cereal bracket. So obviously one of these cereals is gonna have to fucking not make the list.
All right.
You know, I got Crunch Berries, Honey Nut Cheerios, Frankenberry Raisin Bran, Lucky Charms. That's my top 5.
Okay.
You know, lots of people came through with their top 5, but some people actually put some nasty ass cereals on here like Wheaties and
grape nuts.
Life. I don't think
Life.
Life.
No, all right. So wait, once you have motherfuckers putting Life.
I don't think too many people came through with grape nuts. I don't even remember anybody really.
Nah, the only motherfuckers putting Life on their list, they have plus 40. Number 1, number 2, they must have acid reflux. so if anything, they're only thinking about Life. They're not thinking about sweets.
Somebody put cornflakes on their list. That shit is mad basic. Cornflakes, my G.
All right. I got what people told me, and I got my category, not categories, but I don't want to say disclaimers. But no, go ahead. We'll
get into that too. But what's your top 5 cereals? Because we got
personally.
Yeah. What's your top 5?
All right. Number 1, off the rip, Mr. T. They might not make it anymore, but that's my favorite. What's that? Clusters. I like that, the cluster shit. Blueberry, and I only had them once. Blueberry Cheerios. Number 4. What did I have? I'm trying to think like off the top of my head. Fruit Loops, and then I think I had Fruity Pebbles. But a lot of people were selling me like honey nut Cheerios. Somebody was seriously trying to sell me on grape nuts. I'm seriously just say, okay, I'll recognize it to the point where I'm bringing it up on the show. Other than that, it's not.
Grape nuts is not gonna make it, man.
But like Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops was heavy. Fruit Loops was heavy. Frosted Flakes was heavy, and what was the other one that kind of threw me off? Chex Mix. I'm like, the fuck, Chex Mix? Like, yo, I need to stop talking to you. Oh, y'all old motherfuckers.
You might need to erase them from your life, man, because they.
No, but you see, like Chex Mix, I'm like, yo, it's not even good unless they have them little brown shits in them. I'm like, but that's the Chex Mix. That's not the cereal.
I like.
They're like, no, like No, but you see them little brown things. I forgot what they are in the Chex Mix. They're the shit.
I don't know.
But like the cereal, you're not getting them little brown things.
Peanut butter checks is the
I'm like,
shit. But
oh yeah,
um, moving along. Listen, we got the bracket. It's gonna be coming out. Everybody will be able to vote
yes,
on their Mount Rushmore of breakfast cereals. We're working on it, so be on the lookout for that.
yep.
We got Ava Gaudette. She's in a new movie called I Care a Lot. If you haven't seen it,
Ooh.
go over to Netflix and
Ooh.
check that shit out.
Hey,
Yo,
if you want to see a real villain,
yeah, yo,
if you want to see a real villain,
yo, like
whew.
first of all, it's the first like truly original, and it might be from something else, but it's the first movie I've ever seen with this concept of just pure evil. Like the movie had me on my bullshit. Like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, how the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? Yo. So we got Ava Gaudette coming on, man. We're gonna talk about that shit. I Care a Lot on Netflix right now. So we're gonna get to that interview. And Ava Gaudette. What up, y'all? We back here on the Saturday conversation with the world famous Ava Gaudette.
Yes, indeed.
One of the stars in the new smash Netflix movie, I Care a Lot.
Yes.
My new acting teacher.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about that.
Professor at where do you teach again?
Dean College.
Dean College.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you need acting lessons, she's the one to go to. She's a consummate professional, and I'm currently searching through the yearbook.
Oh my god.
For the yearbook picture.
Oh
Ava,
my god.
how you been? How are things?
Things with me are good. I am like deep in my semester right now at school. And I'm teaching a bunch of courses this semester that I've never taught before. So I feel like I'm constantly just one step ahead of the game. I'm constantly just working on my lessons and, revising my syllabus so that I can, do new things. And
are you doing it locally? Like you on site or you virtual?
yeah, it's sort of like a hybrid model. So
Okay.
I have one course that I'm teaching virtually. It's an audition strategies class. And then I have two courses that I'm teaching on campus.
Which one do you prefer though?
Oh my God. I mean, I hate to say it, but I much prefer teaching virtually right now because I can't see their faces. I'm doing a voice and movement class and I'm like, I can't hear you. I can't see your face. I just can't. And it's hard. It's hard. And, I'm doing some scene work with one of my classes and they literally can't get next to each other. So they're trying to block a scene where they have to stay completely separate. And if they get too close, I yell at them and it's just miserable for everyone,
Was it like a lovemaking scene? Like you're trying to do it virtually and you're trying to like
just literally any scene. Any scene that we do, the blocking has to be like on separate sides of the stage. They can't cross each other, they can't go near each other, they can't, because we have to keep the distance. 6 foot,
So are they not testing on the campuses for an acting class? Like
they are. No, they are, which is great.
Yeah, no, you don't want Tom Cruise showing up on your set. Busting in your class like, what's going on in here?
No, none of that. Thank God. No, they are testing. They're testing. I get tested once a week. And for the students that are on campus more than 3 days, they get tested twice a week. So right off the bat, when the semester started, once that cycling of the testing went through, a bunch of students had to quarantine because they had it.
Wow.
And it freaked me out. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then, it's been good. It's been good. I feel safe and all of that. It's just trying to teach acting without being able to move around or talk, be near anyone or see anyone's faces.
Okay.
Hard.
So let's get into this movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I Care a Lot.
Yeah.
Villainous.
Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude's like a megastar.
Such a big star. I didn't even get to meet him.
Seriously?
Really?
Yeah. No, he wasn't on set when I was shooting. And I don't even know if he was. So I shot that stuff locally. They shot a bunch of that movie in Massachusetts.
Oh,
And then I think they shot elsewhere. And I don't know where, if they shot in LA or New York, or I don't know where else they might have done it. But no, I didn't get to meet him.
We'll leave that as movie magic.
I know.
Yeah,
the
movie
last
magic.
plates right away. I was like, oh, they're in Massachusetts somewhere.
You can, yeah.
They tried to
Yeah.
blur them out, but
I think it was actually part of the. Yeah, I think that was the setting. I think they were supposed to be somewhere in Massachusetts.
Okay, yeah.
Because at one point, yeah, there was a sign for the convenience store, and it was some, like local thing. So
I just noticed they blurred the plate out, so I wasn't sure if they were.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Well, not like you could see the red numbers, but you couldn't see like the rest.
What
of
it was.
So
they smudged it. They smudged it.
Inconspicuous.
They gave it a smear.
Yeah. It's
Rosamund
Springfield,
Pike
but you don't know which Springfield it is.
Right.
Rosamund Pike is also like a big star these days. Like, what was it like working with her?
Really weird. I'll be honest. It was really weird working with her.
A good weird or a bad weird?
Well,
or just a strange weird.
Just strange. Yeah, just strange.
Oh, like don't make any kind of eye contact weird. Or like don't call me out of character weird.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was really like that. She didn't come across like a diva or anything like that. It was just she was sort of to herself. And the weird part was just that she had a personal assistant that was there all the time. And honestly, all my years of working in New York and LA, I never encountered someone who had their personal assistant with them on set. Even huge
on
stars.
Set. Okay.
Was she on that? Like,
okay.
Hey,
on set with us. Yeah.
Talk to my personal assistant. I'm trying to.
Yeah, it was just a little. It was a little weird, and I hate this because this was the only experience I've ever had working on a film or a TV show or anything that was like not a great experience.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
so,
I'm not trying to like, it just ironically just so happened to be a very weird experience on set.
Well,
But
you know what though, because like I've run across a couple of actors in my time, and like one time, but it was in a nightclub, and the personal assistant was like, Mr. Wesley don't take photographs, and he's taking people's cell phones. Like, I'm not gonna say who it is, but you could derive who it is.
You already said who it was.
Yeah,
Dude.
You kind of already said.
No,
Mr.
did.
Wait. How many famous Wesleys do we know that build movies in Rhode Island ever, dude? Come on.
Depending on what you're punching in your URL, it could be videos, or it could be X videos, and it could be Wesley Snipes, or it could be Wesley Pipes. Either way, Mr. Wesley don't take pictures.
Yeah.
So when you got,
we'll leave it at that.
I have lots of movie questions because I watched this movie and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yo, what the fuck am I watching right now?
I know.
When you got the script,
it hurt my feelings.
Like when you got the script, were you like, I don't know, like, what were your feelings about the script when you got it? And then when you watched the final cut, like, what was that? I clapped at the end. I clapped.
You did, yeah. It's the best ending. It's the best ending. I loved that. Was like one of my favorite parts too, was the ending, and I won't spoil it for anyone who might not have seen it. But
that's why I'm trying to keep like reactions to myself.
Yeah, I won't divulge exactly what happens. But yeah, when I read the script, honestly, I was more distracted by the fact that I knew Peter Dinklage was in the film, but I didn't know what role he was playing. So I'm reading the script going, oh, is he playing that role? Oh, no, he's probably playing this role. Oh, no, he's probably like, so I was very distracted. But no, I read it and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to hurt. Like, this is going to hurt to watch this woman, and knowing that this probably happens in real life to people, and how just you know, some things you don't want to know about. Like, I just want it to not be true. And you know, obviously the film definitely goes off into a place of kind of
Cringiness.
but also like, you know, it's more like fantasy. Like it starts to get more and more unrealistic at times.
At
You
times,
know what
yeah.
too? You know what too? Like at a certain point in certain movies, and I'm not gonna give too much away with this one, but it's like in certain points in movies, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish watch this so that way I get it out of my system,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I see it all the way through.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah, and
lie.
this is a good one to do that with. Like,
I'm
if
not
you
gonna lie.
start doubting it, just be like, oh, I'm gonna stick with it.
I actually thought
Mm.
it was amazing because I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is fucking crazy because you know, this is the type of shit that goes on.
Yeah. Yeah.
On either on a small scale or a large scale. Like the shit that happens in this movie definitely happens in real life. So it was interesting to see it on
Yeah.
film.
It's a
And-
human experience.
And it's definitely like, I feel like it's gonna win some sort of award. I don't know which one.
I
but
mean,
think that people are-
Rosamund Pike already won a Golden
She
Globe
won the
for her
Golden Globe.
performance.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, and I think it's great. That is something that I appreciated about the film, is just that she is so unlikable, and she's so just raw, you know. And usually female characters are not portrayed that way. Even if they're the villain, they're portrayed in a much different way than her. She was just
You
flat
know what?
out.
There was one female villain that always stuck in my mind. It was Sharon Stone in that movie with well, I can't remember the name of the movie offhand, but it was like with the casino and everything.
Oh,
And for me, it
Casino.
was like,
Casino.
well, yeah, it was Casino. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah. Oh,
But
she
in
was
Casino,
amazing in that movie. She
like
was
for me, I
amazing in that movie.
hated her.
Yep.
Like her and the mother in Blow is like these two women. Like it's Women History Month, so it's like I'm not gonna really say any more than that. But it's like these are people that you can't root for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
Like-
that was definitely the point, is not to root for her, I think.
So as a female, as a woman actress or woman actor, like how does that like feel for you, like watching women play like these terrible people? Like, is it a role that you would have like auditioned for, or did you audition for it, or
No.
It's like a reverse Lifetime movie.
No, yeah. No, there was no me auditioning for that. That was definitely something that, you know,
You couldn't relate.
she was probably, you know, they probably gave her an offer like,
Right.
Rosamund, would you please be in our movie?
Is that
Right.
but is that a role that you would play?
A
Like, is
bake
that-
ham and shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I think as an actor, I would be pretty much willing to try any kind of role. You know, it's kind
Yeah,
of
that's
fun
rage.
to play things that aren't like yourself. And so
Mm.
to do something that would be that different from how I am as a human in real life, that's what's fun about acting, I think.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, because real talk is like off camera. Like some people can't separate the character you play on film and the person that you are in the supermarket. You'd be like, yo, how
Yeah.
you gonna leave Brad like that? Like, yo, like, no, I'm just trying to put some potatoes. I'm like, Brad, the fuck are you talking about, Brad? Like,
Yeah.
but they're like, some people can't disconnect, because I know that's one thing with like soap opera people and their regular life persona, where they have to have their personal assistant do all their supermarket sweeps.
Yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
So-
So what was the like the on-set experience? I know you guys are testing all the time, but like when you were on the set, do you remember? Was it during COVID? Did you? film
It actually
COVID?
wasn't. No, it was
COVID.
before COVID. It
Okay.
was a while ago. So that was probably, I want to say, like late summer, early fall of 2019.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was
like
before any of that stuff. Yeah.
The good old days.
Good old days.
the good old days.
I just went there. I just got in my car and I went there, and then I was there, and I was
Everybody
working
was
you
doing
done
the
any
twist.
with other
filming?
people. Yeah.
Everybody was doing the twist.
Have you done any filming during COVID? Are you doing City? I know I saw
No.
City on the Hill might be coming back finally.
City on the Hill is coming back. I shot that right before it all went down. And then since COVID happened, no, I haven't booked anything, but secretly I was okay with that because it just makes it so complicated. You know, I know that there are SAG protocols of how, you know, you have to
Operate. Yeah.
now, and there's a lot of quarantining involved depending on if you have to travel, and then they test you, and everyone is very safe. But I spent most of this pandemic just living in a bubble with my 5-year-old and trying to be safe. And so I was sort of like, I don't know, I was happy in my bubble. So, and I almost booked something, but it was in New York. And at the time, Rhode Island was on like a list of states that were the worst states in the country. And if you traveled in from that state, you had to quarantine
for 14
for
days.
14 days. And so I would have had to quarantine for 14 days, but on my dime, they want, you know, I would have been a local hire, and I would have had to pay for myself
Hotel.
to stay, in a hotel by myself, not able to leave. Like, I'm like, yeah,
Lord forbid you go stay with a friend.
you can't do that.
No. I got a friend, I got a buddy in New York that I can stay with.
Unless they were willing to quarantine also.
Nah.
I don't even know how you would do that in New York. I lived in New York. I don't know how you even do that in New York. It's just,
especially in a 1-bedroom apartment that you got to share a bathroom with.
My apartment was so small in New York, and we had like a nice place for where we were. It was so small. We never had a table. Like, we had a coffee table, but we didn't have a table to eat on. I spent 4 years eating like food on my lap, you know, like plate on my lap.
Oh, you're lucky if you got a closet.
Yeah.
Oh, you balling. You got a closet?
Right.
That's where Murphy beds were.
Yeah, we actually
you get chicks coming over to your place with a Murphy bed.
Yeah, no, we didn't have a Murphy bed, but we did have in the 1 bedroom that we had, the bed was on a loft, like a loft bed, so that you could have the space underneath for something else. We were working that small, you know, like the tiny houses.
Imagine a dude bringing you back to his place like, yo, I got this loft bed, B. Like, don't worry about it. It's a little squeaky, but you know, it works.
And this far away from the ceiling.
Okay. Don't have a ceiling fan either.
No. Yeah.
So do you have anything lined up for post-pandemic, or like anything this year that we need to be on the radar for?
No, I mean, the only thing that's in the pipeline is that episode of City on the Hill that will be, I think, March 29th, the new season starts. Okay. So, and then other than that, no, I'm just, I like I said, I was living in a bubble for a long time. So, you know.
All right, so everybody picked up like a pandemic skill. Did you pick up like a new language, play a new instrument, stop making sourdough?
Right. I never made any sourdough, and I'm so pissed at myself because I love sourdough. It's my favorite.
Did you pick up like crocheting or something? Like, well, like what's your pandemic skill?
That's a really good question. I think that I got very crafty with my daughter because I was constantly trying to think of things to like make sure she wasn't bored to death.
A lot of googly eye shit.
A lot of googly eyes. Yes. Yes.
Googly eyes on everything.
I found a googly eye in the tub tonight. So just
nice.
Yeah,
googly eyes everywhere.
That's a pure parent move.
Parent.
There's a video floating around of the guy walking through like Costco putting googly eyes.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yep.
Googly eyes are a good time. I mean.
Oh yeah, put googly eyes on anything.
On anything.
It's a riot. It's all right, especially for like I don't know how old your child is, but like for like anybody sub like 8 years old.
Yes.
It's a trip.
Yeah, it's good. My daughter's 5, so she's right in the sweet spot of googly eyes.
All right. Yeah, that's the googly eye zone all day.
Yeah.
So you're teaching,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so how do your students react to seeing you in movies? Like,
Well,
have
it's
they have
very,
you gotten any reaction from them seeing you in I Care a Lot?
yeah, it's really interesting because Dean has a policy of not like the students and faculty don't follow each other on social media until after they graduate. So a lot of my current students, they don't follow me on social media, and I don't talk about myself. I'm
Yeah, yes.
teaching,
Yeah,
right?
the thing
So
about self-promotion. Yeah.
yeah, it's not the place. Um, so I don't know. I don't know that they're even aware, maybe.
Do you
There's
go by
something,
a
but I do have former students that I keep in touch with on social media who,
do you go by a legal name or do you go by a stage name when you're
my stage name and legal name are the same. So
Oh, well,
yeah.
okay, my bad. Oh, well,
I actually, so Daryl will appreciate this because when he knew me in high school, I was Ava Schlink.
That's what I was saying.
And
That's what I was referring.
yes. And so my husband and I are going to be celebrating our 15-year wedding anniversary next week.
Congratulations.
And we were together
Congratulations.
for many years before that. Thank you. And when I joined my first acting union, which I actually joined the Actors Equity Association first. So that's like the theater union, and then SAG is the film and TV union.
Mhm.
But I had to choose a name, and it's really important when you choose your professional name. And I took his name before we were married. We were engaged,
Mm.
but I really locked him in. I was like, I could really use the last
Oof.
name, so I'm gonna just go for it. And I became Ava Gaudette. My stage name was that before I was legally married and changed it.
Okay,
Man, that
okay.
would have been
No, but
extra
that
messy if that shit didn't work out.
yes,
Well, I
indeed.
didn't give him a choice, did I?
No, not
No
at all.
choice.
Anime is not giving back that name.
That's the word. Nope. Nope.
Nope. I'm Tina Turner.
It would have made for a really good story, though.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. But see, that's what I was referencing. Is like, did you go by your like high school name versus like the name that you go at that
No.
you're legally known as now?
I actually, before I joined the union and became Ava Gaudette, I for a little while, very little while, I dropped my last name
Oh,
and
so you're
was
just Ava?
just Ava
Mm,
professionally for
pinky
just a
out.
hot minute.
For
Why
pinky
though?
out,
What
pinky out.
why did you drop your name? Just for
Because
like the movie, for the like the
I would
charismatic star factor, or
because Daryl, I didn't realize that my name was so silly until after I graduated high school and got out to the real world and everyone made fun of me. And I was like, wait, what?
The
And so
last
then I
name.
was like, oh, this might not be a good stage name. I
Mm.
don't know. What do I know? It's not that I wasn't proud, or you know what I mean? It's not that I didn't have my, in fact, I remember calling my dad and being like, Dad, it's not that I don't love being a schlink. It's not that. It's just like, I'm just trying to be a professional here and I'm going to change my name.
What's
If you
wrong
don't
with
think,
this slick name? You
no,
you embarrassed?
right. I wanted him to know it wasn't that. It was, just
Nah, I
trying
can
to be
see that
smart.
part. I can see that part.
Right.
No, but that's acceptable, especially with the context, So
Yeah.
Okay.
so you were like a single name, like Madonna.
I was Ava, just
Ava.
Ava.
See, a single name is an announcement because, like, if
I
anything,
know.
it might like we've talked about this previously, but my stage name will be Mr. Dawood. I wouldn't want nobody
I
to
like that.
like. It wouldn't be about my. It's gonna be the announcement,
Yeah.
Mr. Dawood, not
I
Mr.
like that.
Alexis. Mr. Alexis is my father.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm Mr. Dawood.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's the announcement that
Yeah.
I'm here,
I'm
like
very
Ava.
about
I should have
very
thought of
about
that.
using my government. Like, I don't think I want to have like an alias name. Maybe like
Yeah,
if I
like,
do, it'll be Chet Chelios.
Yeah, see, I was gonna go with
That's
like
good.
when I log into hotels is Gordon Shumway. So like only real people will know who Gordon Shumway is. But that's like my pseudonym when I get famous and I go to the hotels.
Yeah.
I'm logging in as Gordon Shumway, aka Alf.
That's
Chelios was
good.
my club alias for a
Gordon
long time.
Oh my God, I was wondering why that sounded familiar. I'm like, do I know that?
Alf.
Name? It's
Alf,
Alf.
Alf.
Yo, we
Gordon
are
Shumway.
definitely around the same age because nobody knows Alf unless you're as
Who's
old as
looking for
us.
Gordon Shumway? Like
Gordon
Shumway is
Shumway.
not on nobody's outside of this podcast right
I
now.
really want to know who was like, what were they smoking when they came up with Alf, the television series with the little puppet alien? I loved that show.
It was one of the best shows.
I loved that show.
Hey, if anything, we started talking about cereals, like breakfast
Yeah.
cereals,
Yeah.
and Alf had a breakfast cereal. It wasn't that good as Mr. T, but Alf had a cereal.
I like that you know firsthand.
Oh yeah.
He's on this Mr. T. He's really on this Mr. T cereal that nobody ever had except him.
Wasn't the Mr. T cereal? I could be totally wrong. Kind of like Captain Crunch-ish, or is it? It was.
No, but it was in the T shape.
It was a knockoff. It was that.
And
shit
I'll
you
pity
find
the
at-
fool.
You find
Yeah.
it at Price Right. It comes
Yeah.
in plastic bags.
That's right.
Oh. Yeah, it
What?
doesn't even have a box.
It made me
It's
feel like
just
I
the
was
bag.
rich because it had Mr. T on the cover. Because Mr. T wasn't that kind of guy that wanted to be like top shelf. He was like bottom shelf. He was like, yo, I'm being store brand before store brand was even a thing. Back in Star Market days. I'm going to Almax. I'm getting some Mr. T
Oh
cereal.
my God, you are bringing me so back. Almac.
No, but this is how Mr. T cereal is endeared to me. Because I go to Almax, like I have an extra 50
God.
cents. I'm like, yo, can I get the Mr. T?
Yes.
It's the same price as the knockoff, whatever.
He's really pushing Mr. T to win our cereal March Madness bracket.
At least make it
Who
to
else is
Sweet
who else is
16.
competing? Who else is competing?
We're coming up with the bracket right now, but
Okay.
he's going to be up against like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and
Fruity Pebble.
Crunch Berries and Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
Pebbles.
Honey Bunches of Oats made the list.
Oh gosh, of course. Yeah.
Oh, Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut
Little-
Cheerios.
yeah, okay.
The Titans.
Right.
Uh,
The classic.
But you see, like one thing that I wanted to throw into the mix too was his mascots and commercials.
Yeah.
Because like one thing is like, all right, Mr. T cereal is one thing. All right, it's the same thing as the other cereal, but Mr. T cereal had the mascot, it had the commercials, it had the machine behind it. The other cereal, yeah, even though Mr. T was a knockoff of that cereal, Mr. T is better than that cereal because of
All
the.
right. All right.
For you, Ava, what are your top 5?
Yes, what is your top 5?
Top
Please don't
5
say grape
cereals?
nuts.
Top
Please
5
don't say
cereals.
grape nuts.
Come on, man, don't influence her. Just let her come up with her top 5 cereals. Maybe she likes grape nuts, or what is that? Cashew.
Come
I
on
love
now.
that you really have something against grape nuts.
Grape nuts is like
isn't
you're
the thing.
55 and they got acid reflux.
I really like Chex. I know that's boring.
I said checks earlier.
They're sneaky good. Sneaky good. Yeah, definitely Honey Bunches of Oats with the clusters. You can't go wrong with a cluster.
Clusters is where it's at.
Yeah. And what other kind of cereal?
Well, there's Fruity Pebbles. I think you said that earlier.
Dude,
Oh,
stop
I was
influencing
like-
her
no.
top 5,
I
man.
thought she said Fruity Pebbles and Fruit Loops earlier. I'm just.
I
trying
was
to,
like a
He's trying to
healthy
influence the
cereal
top 5
person.
guy.
Okay.
See, healthy cereals like
Yeah.
Cashew.
Although the Crunch Berries, Captain
Crunch
Crunch
Berries.
with the berry, yeah, that was good. When
Please
I
don't
was a
say
kid.
Life.
Life cereal.
No, Life cereal is only good if you get sponsorship with them.
I kind of like. I liked boring. I liked the boring Kicks.
I was gonna say Kicks.
Kicks.
Okay.
I was into it.
Dude, you gotta stop influencing her cereals over here, man.
No, I'm
This
just
is not
trying to
your
help
top
her.
5. This is not your
No.
top 5.
No,
Let her
she could
struggle.
easily say no. I'm just trying to help her out, like Fruity Pebbles and shit like that, so that way it could get the gears rolling.
All the cereals that you love, man. That's why
No,
you like.
I personally don't like Kicks.
Maybe she likes.
Mikey
grape
didn't
nuts.
like Kicks on this side of town.
Maybe she likes grape nuts. Maybe she's a post. She's a fan of Post.
If she likes grape nuts, yo,
person,
hang out on that perch.
No.
You like grape nuts, cool, and I'm gonna have to respect it.
I do like very boring serials, and
Okay.
I'm just coming to terms with this right now as we speak. Actually,
All right, no, I'm
And
trying
you
to
got
think.
small kids too, so you got a daughter.
I
She's
know.
young. You're not giving her the real
She
delicious
Hot
cereals.
hot cereals don't fall into this category. So Queen Marie and all of them hot cereals, nah.
what
They
was
be,
the other one? Some what is it called? Oh
you
man,
already said checks.
yeah, no, it was a
We're
hot
avoiding
cereal,
life. A
not
hot cereal.
yeah,
Quaker Oats.
no,
Wait, what was the other hot cereal? Not porridge.
It was
That's
really
some.
not
just
porridge, but it was like
it's really just oatmeal and cream of wheat was the
something
nastiest shit ever.
Ina.
Oh, that. I have an
No,
idea of what you're talking about.
it's on the tip of my tongue. If I think of it, I'll say it. I
Yeah,
can't remember what it is.
it's not worth mentioning. If
No, it's
it's
not worth mentioning. It was
Yeah,
gross.
and
yeah,
it was
because if
gross. So
anything,
why?
we're talking
Yeah,
about cold cereals.
cold cereals.
All right, because I know Punky Brewster had a cereal. I
Did
know
you know
Xena
that?
had a cereal.
Okay, wait. Did you know that they made a reboot of Punky Brewster with the actual Punky Brewster as the mother? She's Punky Brewster, but she's a mom now, and she has kid. I just saw this on IMDb.
Yeah,
I
it's good.
watched a
Was it a
little.
pilot and it
No,
never
it's a
got picked up?
no,
No,
it's
I
a
think
show.
it's
It's on Peacock.
series.
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh snap! I'm gonna check it
yeah.
because that's like the new age thing. Because I know they did that with with Topanga and them. They did a reboot with her being the adult and
Yep.
being the parent.
Boy
Um,
Meets World.
that
I don't think her
Boy
name's
Meets World
Topanga, dude.
in the show, in the show, in the show.
I
No,
don't know.
but you see when I
And
said
Full
Topanga, she knew
House.
exact.
Yeah, they've been doing that.
No,
80s.
no, they've been doing that a lot lately, where
Yeah,
they will take the child in the child series
right,
and then have the child being the adult now in the flip role.
right.
Like that's been a real deal trend recently.
Yep.
That because that's what Raven did that as well. So
Hmm.
no, like you see, I'm on top of the game. Like I pay attention. I didn't know Punky Brewster did it,
Yeah,
so
it's
I'm
yeah.
gonna check it because the over the shoulder boulder holder. You know, I was a Punky Brewster fan.
I was Punky Brewster for Halloween like
My
more
sister was
times
too.
than I can count.
My sister too. My
Wow.
sister tried to go as Sherry, but I was like,
I
you
was
better
like
off.
the
You better.
spitting image though.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I can
mean,
see that.
I
it
can
was
see the
identical.
resemblance.
Yeah, we were twins when I dressed
My
up.
sister tried to go as Punky, and I was like, you're better off as Sherry because people want to know you're Punky. Like, come on now. As a black lady, you're
Sherry.
Sherry by default.
My gosh, that show.
Over the shoulder boulder holder. And she had to get a breast reduction in the
He
older
did
years.
like in real life. I
In
know.
real life, yeah, right.
Strange.
Hey, that's what I call cinema. I can't say the word, but ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
ironic.
Ava,
You know?
we
Yes.
appreciate you coming on.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for having me,
So many
guys.
times, three times. She
The
has
first
Yeah.
3 times.
the
Yeah,
first 3 times. She's the
she's the Alec Baldwin of the show here.
Boop, boop, boop.
Like she's setting the presidents. Like she's part of the three. We got to come up with a fancy name for the three for club.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to shamelessly self promote?
Go watch I Care a Lot on Netflix. I also have another movie on Amazon Prime called Love, Weddings, and Other Disasters.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
And,
right.
Mhm.
That was a good,
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. It's in my thing.
Yeah.
And your cue.
What was
In-
that?
in the
What was
queue.
that like? Now we have to start this all over again. I forgot.
Oh, come on. We'll wrap it
well,
up. B.
that was a cool experience because I got to work with Jeremy Irons and he was just like
Jeremy Irons. He's
amazing. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a
It was really
monster
cool.
in the acting.
Say that again?
He didn't have his personal assistant with him, right? Because
No, he was like
He seemed like a good drinking buddy. Like he
he's
has some real
so
interesting
cool.
story and has some real funny jokes on the low. Like damn,
He
you
was
making these
dressed.
jokes?
You know what surprised me the most is he was dressed so cool. He
Mm.
was so cool. Like just the way he was styled. I was like, he came to like a
Nice.
rehearsal that we were having. Just I don't know, he was so cool and he had jewelry on and like this cool like
Mm.
one piece thing with some boots. He was amazing. And just
He's,
sweet and
he's
friendly.
repping he's repping for the iron out there. DJ Iron Monkey.
I know.
DJ
It's like
Jeremy
yeah.
Irons.
Word.
All
Make
right.
sure you go see I Care a Lot. And what is it?
Mhm.
Love something?
Love, Weddings, and Other Disasters.
Love
I'm
Weddings.
in a little,
Other-
small role. And then episode 2 of City on a Hill.
Agent Cody Barks.
Agent Toby Barks. Agent Toby Barks. Yes.
Barks, yeah.
My favorite co-star of all time, the dog. And yeah.
Word.
And Daryl, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reboot on my YouTube channel. It's sort of in the works now, but when it happens, I'll have to have a 4th appearance so I can talk about my YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Word.
Yeah.
We'll delve more into the Alf scene too. So
can we talk more about Alf? Can we just talk about Alf?
Entertainers.
We can always talk about Alf. You're always welcome to come on the show and talk about whatever you got going on, or just to come on and just chit chat with us whenever you feel like you need to, talk about Alf.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. We could talk about the Ochmoneks. We could talk about the Ochmoneks and how the Ochmoneks is kind of like Agnes Harkness, but that's a whole nother story in itself.
Yes.
Oh boy, here it goes.
Do I look the same? I kind of had my hair the same.
Pretty much.
The fact that them other 2 dudes didn't sign up for this.
Hold on.
Them other 2 dudes is like, shout
out to Rob Sanaras and Patrick Saul.
Rob Sanaras. Do you keep in touch with him?
I haven't seen him in forever since the reunion. So that's
man.
Picture.
I'm gonna keep my personal assessments to myself because one of them dudes look like he could be type weird.
They were both kind of weird, but we're all a little weird. We're all a little weird at Glasgow. So it's all
I was the weirdest.
So
I was the weirdest in high school.
We'll have to do like a reunion. We'll have to do like a reunion show. We'll get a bunch of us on.
Yeah.
And
hey, I didn't go to classical, but I was at every dance that they had.
You was there, man. Like
then you probably went to more dances than I did. Because
I went to every classical. I went to more classical dances than my own high school dance.
Oh man.
like I had
2.
I had way more friends that had classical than I had at my own school. But it was by design. I had it like that on purpose.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Excellent. All right, Ava. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you as always. Go check out the movies, people. And like them and subscribe to them if you can, and give your reviews and 5-star the shit out of those motherfuckers. And
hey, if you're looking for actor, Ava Gaudette.
Yeah, I'll be giving you a dope Yelp review for my acting lessons, no matter what.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait.
Pretzels are making me
don't
thirsty.
take it easy on me either. Let me know.
I won't.
If I'm doing shitty, I might have to choose a different career, like roller skating or something.
Sure.
Hey, if anything, just prepare to be the garbage man in the movie, guy. Hey, like get out my way.
I'll get you ready. Or
Nah. You better than that, because I'll hold you to it.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right, Ava.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Watch out for them googly eyes.
There's googly eyes everywhere.
Right.
Oh my god.
Later.
Bye.
And we back.
Yeah, buddy.
With a dope interview. Always great to have her on the show. She's been on this is her third time on the show.
Where? Oh yeah, that's right.
She's been on 3 times, man. She's the leader when it comes to being on the show. She always comes through and chops it up with us. So shout out to Ava. Make sure you check it out.
She's the first one to the trade club.
Yeah, she's the first
every season.
She's the first one. Yeah, she's been on every season. So shout out to Ava for always being busy and having some shit to come talk to us about.
Always being busy, but always having time for
and always having time to come.
Hashtag support.
To support and I'm gonna be taking she's gonna be teaching me how to act. I'm gonna take some acting classes with Ava.
Oh, where?
Yeah. We setting them up next week, as a matter of fact.
Oh, these pretzels are making me thirsty. Yo, matter of fact, I got a bag full of pretzels over here too.
Yo, like always, we're gonna end the show with our quick hits. So we're gonna run down some topics. Tell me how you feel about them, if you're gonna rock with them or not.
All right.
If it's a thing that you love or if it's a thing that you hate.
Gotta keep it under 2 minutes.
We gotta keep it quick. 30 seconds.
Bang.
Less as quick as possible. It's a quick hit.
45 seconds.
2 minutes is not a quick hit. Unless
Well,
for certain things.
I always
Certain
ask for
things,
seven. I always ask for 7 minutes, just because. But I'll try to keep it under 45.
Listen, man, 30 seconds. Be brief.
Easy.
Square. It was announced on the internet today that Square buys a majority interest in Tidal, Jay-Z's music company, for $297 million. Is Jay-Z selling out, or is that just a come up for the dude?
No, it's not a sellout. Keeping it short, like the same way that 50 Cent had vitamin water and he sold it and he flipped it. That's business. Like, yo, you have a product, you build it up, buy in short or on the cheap, and you sell it for a profit. It's business.
Word.
Like now he doesn't have to deal with like if somebody's not getting their payout or if somebody has a problem with the algorithm. That's somebody else's problem. I'm cashing out. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I'm off the table. Like,
Yo, big on Jay-Z for still owning some of it and getting rid of a majority so he don't have to be that dude. But he still got, like, he got a nice payday, $297 million. Some people, whew, that's life changing.
Hey, if anything, shout out to Brooklyn. Making big moves. That's what I like.
Cash Grab Gina, the governor of Rhode Island, is finally,
I ain't got nothing on this.
Is finally out of here as she's been elected as the Commerce Secretary, the lady who single-handedly drove the Rhode Island economy into the ground, is now the Commerce Secretary for the United States of America. I don't know about this one, Joe. I don't know, but you got nothing?
If anything, like, I know you don't like her. If anything, like, she tried to slow walk it. I remember when we was first at A&M Street Studios. Shout out to Will and them and A&M Street Studios. I remember we was there, and you was like, "Yo, she should be doing this. She should be doing that." I'm like, "No. If anything, the best." And she's trying to slow walk it, but motherfuckers are actually gonna listen to what she's saying, because if it doesn't, it's gonna blow up in her face, and people are gonna be like, "See, you should have did this at the beginning." And this is where we are right now. But if anything, she's on the national stage. It's Women History Month. Shout out to Gina Raimondo. I'm not dissing. I'm not talking nothing bad about her. If anything, like, she's just taking an episode of Rhode Island Weeds nationally. So season 3, people are on the national stage.
I mean, it's a good move for her politically, I guess. But I don't know if she should be the Commerce Secretary since she didn't really handle the commerce in Rhode Island very well. But that's just all.
Hey, but if anything, I'm looking to see if it's going to be legalized federal level. Because if it does, you know her husband's gonna get paid.
That's what I'm saying. Only if she's getting a cut. So maybe she'll push for the national legislation because that's what Cash Grab Gina does.
Hey, if anything, that's why I'm not hating, because if anything, it was season 3 of Weeds, Rhode Island.
All right, we got to keep it moving. Enough of this Gina Raimondo talk. Albert Pujols came out. It came out that Albert Pujols, Dominican baseball player, is really like
talking about baseball cards.
Is really like 45 years old. We know that in the Dominican community, there's a long history of little leaguers and folks making themselves younger or older than they're supposed to be.
Fudging.
Nobody knows how old they are. We're gonna have Carlos De La Cruz on soon, my jiu-jitsu instructor. He's also Dominican. He's supposed to be 44, but I think he might actually be in his
53.
He might actually be in his 50s. So we have to find out how old Carlos really is. But it came out that Albert Pujols might actually be like 44, 45 years old. Which if he's crushing the league, and he's been crushing the league in his 40s, it may make him the best athlete of all time. Just saying.
All right, so because this is a quick hitter, in short, it's like, all right, you know what? You're right about that part. If he's still crushing it in his 40s, which he hasn't been for like the past 7 years, in all honesty, really and truly, I can see it as, this is my natural date of birth, and this is my date of birth when I came to America.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Offline, but I only make it with Dominican men. I don't make it in mixed company because they actually recognize it and they appreciate, and they tell me context. I don't make that joke in mixed company, only with Dominican men. But it's true.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Knicks versus Pistons. The Knicks are in 5th place. Pistons are still in the basement.
Yo, the Pistons were
crazy.
horrible last year. Worse record than the Knicks last year.
Listen, this is not looking good for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo, if anything, y'all got stars. You got Blake Griffin. You got Horace Grant's nephew or son. I can't remember who he is, but he's part of the Grant clan. Like, yo, y'all supposed to have studs. We have nobody but Randall and a washed up Derrick Rose. Hey, I'll roll with that.
Hey, listen, we'll see what happens at the end of the season, but that's gonna do it for another Saturday conversation. We got to cut out quick and short because we're up against it. Hopefully, everybody tunes in. Make sure you tune in all the time on the Saturday Conversation YouTube channel, aka Caveman Entertainment TV. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. Thank you to our guests this week, Z Carls, aka Z Love, and Ava Gaudette. And we'll check y'all next week. We out.